Well, good evening, Mustang Ohana. My name is Ben Faubert. I'm the principal here at Mountain House High School. We're so glad to have you here this evening to learn a little bit about our summer skipper program this summer. I will be the principal for summer school, and I'm going to invite Mr. Cronin to introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Cronin. I'm the counselor, one of the counselors at the high school, and I'll be the summer school counselor as well.
Thanks, Tim, for being with us tonight. Thank you, everyone who's here. It looks like we've got a good number of people on here tonight, and we should have a few more joining us. Tonight's goal is to tell you a little bit about the Summer Skipper program, which is a program that you or your child has signed up for during this summer school to be able to complete Math 1 before the beginning of next school year. I'm going to go ahead and turn Mr. Cronin's camera off here for a moment. We're going to get going through this. You will have an opportunity at the end of the presentation to ask any questions that you might have. We will not be responding to questions that are posted in the chat stream. We will be responding to questions on a form that we will post at the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions, I would suggest you hold them till the end, and we'll go ahead and give you that link at the very end. So again, thank you for being with us tonight. Let's get started. First of all, Summer School for Summer Skippers is a voluntary course, and it allows students to complete Math 1 over summer so students can start in either Math 2 or Math 2 honors during their freshman year. Again, this is voluntary. The typical class that all freshmen begin with is Math 1. Your student does not need to take the Summer Skipper course to gain access to any of the courses that we have on our campus. And in fact, students have the opportunity to get all the way through calculus, AP calculus at the end of high school, even if they just start in Math 1. However, we know that there are some students who would like to take Math 1 over the summer and get a little bit of a jump on their high school career. But in order to do this, these students must be very self-motivated to complete the course by the end of summer school. Teachers will be available starting the first day of summer school on the 5th of June, and that's 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., and I'll show you what the calendar looks like pretty soon here. There is a course map in the course that we'll take a look at before the end of tonight, and it divides that work amongst the 23 days of school that exist in summer school. Students must complete the entire course by the end of the summer session on Friday, the 14th of July at 1 p.m. That means 1 p.m. the teachers are going home. If students have tests to take still, they must come in before to have those tests proctored. And we'll talk a little bit about proctoring tests later. The grade for this course will be the first official grade on the student's high school transcript. So you do need to know that this will be that first grade that exists on that transcript that you will eventually submit to colleges and universities when you apply for college. Here's a look at the summer school calendar. You'll notice that most of the days of the week, there's less than 5 school days. There's a couple of holidays in the middle of summer school this year. So there is week 2, we will have 5 full days of school. Week 5 is the 4th of July week, so we'll only have 3 days on that week. And then there are several days. There's 3 days at the end of, it's actually not Monday to Friday, it's Monday to Wednesday, July 12th on that last week. So 3 days that last week of school. That's what the calendar looks like. So here's the instructional model. Those of you who have friends or neighbors' friends who have students in the advanced math courses at the elementary school right now, it's the same model. It is a curriculum that is online through Edgenuity. Students must stay on pace with the summer course, and any student during summer school that falls behind 10% or more are in danger of being dropped from the course. Students should maintain a grade of C or better in the course to risk being dropped from the course at any time. They can move at their own pace though, and they can move ahead if they want and finish early. So they can conclude the course as soon as they complete all the required coursework. So if you work ahead and you finish sooner than the end of summer school, you're welcome to do so. All work must be completed using your school-issued Chromebook, and students should keep their Chromebook from their K-8 school for the duration of summer. And we will communicate that to the 8th grade teachers and to the K-8 schools that at the end of the school year, when all of the other 8th graders turn in their Chromebook, they will keep that at the end of end of the school year so they can bring it to summer school. You also have to note that all tests that a student takes has to be proctored here at the high school. We'll talk a little bit more about proctoring a little bit later. And I want you to remember that the summer skipper course is 1 full year of high school math. And the curriculum is covered in a 6-week summer session. So students who do not start the course early will be required to work 3 to 4 hours every day to complete the work by the end of summer school. So we'll talk a little bit more right now. You're going to have early access to the course starting at the end of this week. And our suggestion is that you get started right away on that course and start getting to work on the work in those classes. A little bit more specifics about that. So while the course is broken down into 23 days of about 4 hours per day, students will have access to the course starting on Friday to decrease the daily workload during summer school. So for example, while the course guide will tell you that it's 4 hours a day during the 23 days of summer school, if your student starts this week and they work for about 1 hour each day, each school day, not counting the weekends, from now until the end of summer, they will be able to complete the course. If they wait until the start of summer school to get started, they will need to work about 4 hours a day. Another thing that we talked about is all tests must be proctored. And starting Friday, the 24th of this month of March, there will be teachers' aides available here at the high school every Friday after school when your student is done from 1:45 until 3:45. People will be here to proctor tests. So once you get started, once you get to a test in there and it needs to be proctored, the student can come any Friday and take one or multiple tests on that day. Each test can take anywhere between 40 minutes and an hour to complete, depending on the knowledge of the student and how quickly they work. But that will be available for students starting March the 24th after school and every Friday thereafter. Once summer school is open, the students can come to summer school any of those open days and have tests proctored on those days. The online course will also have an online tutoring option for students who get stuck on specific concepts. We do not have summer school teachers ready to help at this point, but we have paid for, through Edgenuity, online concept coaches, and students will be able to click a button and get help, and those concept coaches can come on with a whiteboard, a digital whiteboard, and work through some questions with them and help them with the problems that they might have. So starting that first day of summer school, that online tutor will no longer be available, as they will have access during summer school on all those dates to on-site math teachers and peer tutors at the high school. So let me talk a little bit about free movement. For now, free movement is going to be open for students. What that means is if a student works through the curriculum and they get to a test that needs to be proctored, those tests will be locked and they will not be able to take the test. And so free movement will allow students to skip over the test and keep moving in the curriculum so that when they come on a Friday, they can come back and take that test and keep going, but they can keep moving through the class. Once summer school starts, that free movement will be turned off, and any test that a student has skipped, they will have to take those tests before the system will allow the student to continue moving forward. So again, students must come and take those tests proctored at the high school. The free movement will be open from now until the first day of summer school. And once that pace starts, If a student stops taking tests, their progress will stop. And if they fall more than 10% behind in the course, the student risks being dropped from the course. A couple of words about academic integrity. These are just some very general guidelines when it comes to it. It's not okay to use the internet to look for answers for anything. It's not okay to copy and paste information from the internet. It's not okay to copy information from a friend, and it's not okay to let a friend or family member log in and do the work for you. The problem is when students do that, because as you know, because you're working on your own, you could go through and just completely not do any of the work yourself or copy all of the work, but then the test will have to be proctored and you will not be able to pass the test at that point. If you do get stuck or need help with the content before summer school starts, we would suggest to use the online tutoring option that you'll see on your screen. Once summer school starts, students need to come to the school to meet with the teacher, and either the teacher will help them or refer the student to a peer tutor or another teacher who can help. All right, we're going to do a little bit of an Edgenuity demo here. So I'm going to take you to this link, and this will be the link that your student will use to get to Edgenuity each time. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that's going to look like over here. Let's see. All right. When you go to the Edgenuity login, this is what it will look like. And you'll make sure you're clicked on student. The first time you log in, because your students, many of them have never logged in, all you have to do is click this forgot password button and put the student email address. In fact, the course isn't loaded up in there yet, but you should be able to do this now and log into Edgenuity for the first time. There will be no courses in there yet until Friday, but you should be able to log in by clicking forgot password, putting the student email address here and clicking send link. Once that happens, if you go to the student email address, it will give you a link to log in for the first time. Once you log in and you get into the system, this is what your Edgenuity is going to look like. You'll have a page here with a card that says Math 1 Summer Skipper. You can either click Next Activity or just click on the card itself, and it will take you into the course map. Before I show you that, I want to show you on this home. This card will also show you where your student is in progress, and this bar will turn colors depending on whether they're on target or on pace or not, and it'll tell you a grade that your student has. So if you click on the card, it takes you to the actual curriculum, and it starts with the very first unit of study. There's a couple of things on this page I want to point out. The first thing I want to point out is the course report. So if you click this button that says course report, it's going to download a report for you down here. And when you open that up, it gives you a PDF copy of the schedule of all of the assignments that need to be done. And again, remember I told you that it starts on the first day of summer school. So this has it parsed out for you according to the assignments that would need to be done if you started it on the first day of summer school. If you complete these, it'll show you when it was complete, and it will give you the dates by when all of these things are supposed to be done. So again, we encourage you to go forward, go ahead on this. That course report is updated every time you attempt something, every time you submit something. It will give you the actual time that is given you, the estimated time, the actual time, and the score that the student received on that. So this is kind of like a grade report that you can download at any time, and it will tell you your grade as well. So that was the course report. The next thing is, if you wanted to go to the very next activity that's ready for you, you would click this button and it takes you straight to the instructional page where the student needs to start doing their work. Typically what happens here is there's a video. So you notice that. The other thing you'll see is very similar to the course report. This is the same thing. It shows you all the things that you have to do. Now remember, you do have the ability to move forward and click on any of these, but you're going to need to do them all in order to get to the end of the course. You will not be able to take a test unless all of the assignments and quizzes are complete before you take the test. Another thing that we highly recommend for you is this purple bar above each assignment, above each concept. If you click the plus button, there's a couple of things in here. It tells you the objective of the lesson, the standards that it addresses. It gives you a transcript of what the teacher is saying in that lesson, so you can go through and read it if you need. The other thing that's really, really important is if you really want to be successful and take good notes, Edgenuity has these nifty guided notes. So if you'd like to use this in PDF format or print it out at home, I know for my own students who have taken online classes, I make them do these. And this goes along with the video and the lesson, and students can use these notes on the tests. So I would highly recommend to print out or use the PDF format of these guided notes as students go through their course. If a student wants to redo or retake a test, they will have to complete those notes anyway. So it's a good idea to go ahead and use those guided notes in the first place. So that's a little bit of a tour of the Edgenuity. There's usually each lesson has a warm-up, some instruction, a summary, and an assignment, and then a quiz. Quizzes are not redo retakeable. Tests are. You'll notice that when I scroll down to the end of this unit and we get to the unit test, I can open the unit test review, but if you try to click on the unit test, it's going to give you this warning. It's going to take a moment here. That the assessment is locked and the teacher has to unlock it for you. So please make sure that you come in to have the test proctored. However, if you get to this point and it's locked and it's a weekend or it's during the week and we don't have any proctor times, you should go ahead and move forward past that test and keep working as you go. And as soon as you come in for a test, you can go ahead and take that test. So that's a bit of a tour of Edgenuity itself. The other thing I want to draw to your attention, if you remember when we were in the lesson, it's not turned on yet, but by Friday it should be. Right here in the corner of the page will be a little tutoring help button. And when you click on that, a little chat box comes up and a credentialed teacher will get on the chat with you. You can ask them questions, and then they may open a digital whiteboard to assist you with your questions. Just a few last things before we get to questions. Please follow the course report and stay on pace or ahead of pace. And again, the pace is set for summer school only, but remember, if you wait until summer school, you're going to be working 4 hours a day just doing math. So we recommend that you get started as soon as possible. Follow the course report and stay on pace. Use your school-issued Chromebook. If you come to class into work each day, bring a good set of headphones with you. Students are not required to actually come to class during summer school except when they need a test proctored. So students can totally do this at home on their own and just come for the proctored test if they want or if they need to get help. So get help when needed from the online tutor before summer school starts and or from peer tutors. And then finish the required work before the July 12th deadline. So you do have to come again to campus for all proctored for tests that need to be proctored. Last couple of things for parents, we would suggest you keep track of your student progress by having them log in and show you their progress on their account. And we require students to log in and show their progress at least on a daily basis so that you can see where they are. We ask you to encourage your students to complete their work at school each day, especially along with that pacing guide or ahead of it, and provide encouragement to do extra work at home. I would say that to remind you that all of the work is only assigned on school days. So you'll notice that there's never any assignments that are due on weekends. However, if you work on weekends and do some of that work, then you can get ahead again. So please communicate with the teacher if you're unsure of what the expectations are, and you can always contact Mr. Cronin or I, and I'm going to bring Mr. Cronin back in here if you have any questions. And we are to the point now where we would love for you to ask your questions. Again, we're not going to be answering the questions that come through us from Facebook or YouTube on the chat. We do want you to submit your questions at this tiny URL.com/skipper-questions-2023. And as you do that, and I'm going to put it down here so it's easy to see. And I got a QR code going here, so in case you want to scan a QR code instead, please submit your questions to us now, and we'll be able to answer those questions as they come in. We will not be re-answering any questions that have already been answered. We'll stay on and answer as many questions as possible. We have until about 6:45 to answer questions. I need to get to a board meeting tonight, and so we'll answer as many questions as possible. I will tell you that we've had quite a few successful students do this and then become very successful in their Math 2 or Math 2 honors courses in the next school year. And it looks like questions are coming in. So Mr. Cronin's going to read them, and we'll take turns answering them or do what we can. So go ahead, Mr. Cronin.
Okay, first question. How do students sign up for the tests from 324? Is there an online form that they need to fill out?
Yes, in the next week, we will be sending out a Google form that they can submit so that we know that they're coming and which tests they're going to need to be taking. So when they get here, the teacher is ready to open that test for them.
Okay, question number 2. If we start the course next week, when will the course be over?
That is up to you. The course will be over when you finish it. So again, I would refer to the course report. You'll notice on that course report, it shows how long each assignment, each quiz, each test should take. Some people find that it takes them less time, and some people find that it takes them more time. So really that's up to you, but you do have to be finished by July 12th.
Question number 4, is it possible to complete the course and test before summer?
Yes. You can just work as quickly as possible, get in to take those tests. And again, I know a lot of people are traveling over the summer, so that's why we're giving it to you early. And the earlier you finish it, the earlier you're done. And again, you don't have to come to school except for the tests and if you need any help. But once you're done with it, you're done.
Next question. My son will be attending a school camp for the first week of summer school. Is it okay to start after that?
I would, again, if you're missing a week of summer school and you haven't started it before, because we're going to give this to you earlier, if they don't start at all until the beginning of summer school, it's not likely that they will finish. So if they're going to miss some summer school time, again, I'm going to say it again, students are not required to come to class. There is no instruction going on. The only reason our teachers are here is to provide intervention and proctor tests. And so it really is up to you on how long it takes for you to finish the course. So if you're gone for a week and you don't take any tests, but you have worked ahead, the only thing I would say is you cannot fall behind pace. If you fall behind 10% or more, you will be dropped from the course. So just make sure you're on pace and you should be good.
Okay, next question. Are students supposed to do the course on their own Chromebooks, even at home?
Yes. The reason that they are required to do it on their Chromebook, even at home, is that we monitor the use of the Chromebook. if we see that we have the ability to monitor what's going on. I'll be really honest with you. Online courses, those of you who know about online courses, really easy to cheat. And we don't want kids to cheat, and doing it on the Chromebook allows us to monitor what they're doing on GoGuardian.
Okay, next question. Can you do multiple tests on Friday?
Yes, you can. So if you finish a unit and then you skip over the test and you keep going and you finish another unit, you should be able to get 2 done. If you get here by 1:45, there's about 2 hours of time there that they could get through 2 tests.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to look through these questions. Yeah. Is there a specific room or teacher that we go to take the test?
Yeah, that will all be communicated back to you after you fill out the form. There will be classrooms probably in our C building where we'll give you directions once you sign up for the test, which room you'll be in, because there will be several. There's a lot of you. There's about 178 students signed up for the Skipper course. And so there will probably be several classrooms on Fridays where we are proctoring tests.
Will there be a final assessment after individual tests?
So there is 2 finals, a semester 1 final and a semester 2 final. You'll find that once you get assigned the test. Those are called exams. So there are quizzes, and there are unit tests, and then there are 2 final exams, and there is 1 project as well. As far as grading goes, the majority of the grade is based on the tests.
Can students retake tests to improve test scores? Are there any limits on retakes?
So yes, there are opportunities for retake. As I indicated, if you're going to retake a test, you do have to show that you've completed the guided notes. And if you've taken the test and then you've retaken it a second time, you will need to meet with a teacher. And then we'll discuss if you're taking it multiple times, 3-4 times, it might be a better idea for that student to actually take Math 1. I can't emphasize enough that it's really great that students want to try to do this, but there, in my estimation, is there's no replacement for a teacher in a classroom. Some students are able to get through these courses fairly easily, but if not, Math 1 is a completely appropriate course for a freshman to take to still be eligible for four-year college entrance. So I wouldn't worry about that. I would say that if a student is taking a test 3, 4, 5 times, we're going to have a conversation about whether this Skipper program is necessary.
Okay, next question. If someone did not submit the Summer Skipper Math petition, are they still eligible to attend the Summer Skipper course?
No, we have closed the enrollments for that course.
I'm getting a lot of questions about how students can take the tests. Can maybe we touch on this again?
I'll touch on that again. So tests have to be proctored. And as soon as the course comes out to you, when we communicate that it's ready to go, we will also have a Google form ready for you to sign up for tests. We'll send that link out, and we'll send it out multiple times if needed. But it will just be a simple Google form to tell us when you're coming and which test you'll be taking when you come. It'll be pretty simple. And then once you submit that, we will communicate back with you about which classroom to go to on that day. During summer school, you can come in on any day of the summer school session on the calendar that I showed you. And this, again, will be recorded and posted, and I'll send you the link to it. But any day of summer school, students can come and take tests without even having to sign up. They just come in, talk to their teacher, and unlock the test.
Thank you. If a student drops out of the course, will it be shown on their transcript?
No, we won't We won't place it on the transcript in fact, if a student ends up at the end and they don't get a good grade in the course, we won't be, we'll just remove it. We won't put it on the transcript. I would suggest that if a student gets anything below a B, that we recommend that the student just take the course at the high school. We would really like their first grade on their report card to be better than a C or lower.
Next question. How much of the course can be finished if my son only does complete 30 minutes every day except for weekends?
Ask that again. I'm sorry.
I think they're asking if my son only completes 30 minutes a day, would the student be able to pass the class? Or how many hours are expected a day to complete the course?
You'll see that on the course report. Of course, the course report's only going to show you the 23 days of summer school. If they start right now, they'll still need to work about an hour a day. And that's just during school days. If they work on the weekends, then they could probably work a little less each day. But you just have to kind of take a look at the calendar, look at what's expected to get through, and you can kind of make your own schedule. You could even go on that course report that I indicated. Let me see if I can bring it up again. If you go to the course report, it's fairly easy to just go in and create a calendar of your own. Come on. Open this course report up, create a calendar of your own, and just decide which of these that you need to get done between now and the end of summer school. And then you can calculate for yourself how much time that will take. So, if you're going to start now and you parse out, 120 days from now, then you just divide the number of activities, quizzes, and tests, and then you can put that on a calendar and you can calculate for yourself how long that will take.
Thank you. Next question. Is the Summer Skipper program the exact same as the Accelerated Math 1 that students are taking right now in 8th grade?
It is the same exact course, yes. Those students took it over the course of the entire school year. And the students who take the Skipper course have a little bit shorter period of time to do it in, a lot shorter actually. But it will be the only course that they're taking over summer, as opposed to during the regular school year where they have a lot of other things to do.
Thank you. Next question. What times can students come in to take tests during summer?
I'm going to refer back to the presentation here. Let me see if I can find it. So these are the dates, and it's 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So I would suggest that a student, we probably won't be opening tests after noon because it could take up to an hour, and teachers leave at 1 o'clock. So anytime between 9 and noon, they can start a test because school is out at 1.
Thank you. Next question. What is the final passing score for the class? Or in other words, what percentage grade do you have to get to pass the class?
Well, passing the class is you can get a D and get credit for it, but we don't want to give you that. If you want to take a C, 60% is the lowest that you can go. 60 to 74% is a C. 70 to 89% is a B, or sorry, 75 to 89 is a B, and 90 to 100 is an A. That's our mastery-based learning. Because it's based mostly on assessment, it's a little bit different of a scale. And you can find that scale on our website as well, on the high school website.
Next question. How do students log into Edgenuity, and where can they get help logging in?
As I mentioned before, This is the link right here. And let me get our faces out of the way. Well, I guess I can't. Let me do it this way. We'll take these off. Here we go. All right. So this is the link right here to get on. And then once you're there, it's the first time you're logging in. So you would, let me log out here. Once you go to the, or you can just search Edgenuity login on Google and click student. And then the first time you log in, just click forgot your password and put your student's ID number here. And then it'll send a link to their, or sorry, put your student's email address here, and it'll send the link to the student email address to log in for the first time.
Thank you, Mr. Faubert. It seems that that's most of our questions.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. Like I said, we're going to send the link out to this video. It will be on YouTube and Facebook, so that you can come back and watch it. If you have additional questions, Mr. Cronin and I are available to answer those questions. And once we have the courses ready to go, we will be emailing each of you to make sure that you have that you know that it's open and that you could get started. And then we'll also be emailing you those signups for the testing dates. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We look forward to seeing your students this summer. We look forward to seeing them getting started on their math courses before the summer starts so that they can get a head start and hopefully get enrolled in Math 2 next school year. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night.